The Ability Live initiative TALI, a non-governmental organization, has set out to end discrimination against persons with disabilities by assisting bilateral and multilateral organizations implement innovative solutions to address challenges faced by these individuals. This comes after reports from the United Nations Convention on the Rights of Persons with Disabilities suggested that more than 25 million Nigerians living with disabilities continue to grapple with discrimination. Here's the report as presented from our studios.
The event brought together top government functionaries, policymakers, key stakeholders, CSOs, and persons with disabilities to foster collaboration and outline a call to action. Co-founder, the Ability Life Initiative, Barrister Prada Uzodinma reiterated the vision of TALI in fostering a society where no one is left behind, regardless of their abilities.
TALI exists to bridge the gap, to assist bilateral and multilateral organizations in implementing effective strategies that create lasting solutions in health, housing, education, and the fight against discrimination. Our mission is clear: to ensure optimal health, end discrimination, and advance the fundamental rights of persons with disabilities. Our vision is bold: a world where persons with disabilities are recognized not for what they lack, but for what they can achieve.
Speaking on policies that engender the rights of persons with disability, Senior Human Rights Advisor to the Executive Secretary of Nigeria's National Human Rights Commission, Mr. Hilary Ogbonna, highlighted Nigeria's commitment to constitutionally protect and promote disability equity and its implementation.
You see, the issue of the work around the rights of persons with disability is one project that in my previous life in the UN, we have actually, before even the enactment of the Act in 2018, we have preached to First Ladies. We have preached to First Ladies right from the late Mrs. Obasanjo down to Mrs. Yaradua, to Mrs. Sam Jonathan. I'm not sure, yes, even with Madam Buhari, that was also preached. And for the First Ladies at state level, I still want to reiterate, the future of Nigeria is at the state and the local levels. We can pretend all we want to do in Abuja. Devolution is the way to go. And so, I look forward that Yali will take this message also up to state level.
Senator Ned Nwoko harped on the need for social security for Nigeria's vulnerable populations, citing a bill he sponsored on the floor of the Senate in that regard.
Aside the annual creation bill, this one is it, because it seeks to establish an act that ensures that the less privileged in the society are provided for as of right. And this will be achieved because the president has already lent his support. He written to the National Assembly expressing his support at ensuring that it becomes the law that we want it to become.
What I would say to them is that they should keep it up. Once you are doing this to the least of the people in society, God is happy with you. And He will always provide them with resources.
Chairman, House of Reps Committee on Disability, Honorable Bashiru Dawudu, charged MDAs to recruit in line with the 5% quota for people with disabilities in government agencies.
What is important is that the law is about the protection and the rights of persons with disability. And sometimes the rights are not served a la carte. We have to get people to comply and implementing the law. The law talks about accessibility. So my distinguished lawyer, what it means is that in Nigeria today, the law of Nigeria is that if a person with disability cannot access public utility, that organization is in violation of the law. So we're not talking rhetoric. I would like us to know that if there's any organization or MDAs that are recruiting right now, and they are not recruiting at least 5% of PWDs in their organization, they are in violation of the law.
Honorable Minister states Labour and Employment, Barrister Nkiruka Onyejocha, restated the current administration's commitment to ensuring implementation of the employment quota as captured in law.
Even though the 5% is not fully implemented now, because if we take audit, some people in the organization may have passed that 5%. It's just that the majority of people have not keyed into it. So I'll ask that you should be looking at the number. So that by them struggling to do like 20%, they will pass 5%. Nigerians, that's the way we operate. If we give them 5 for real, you may come back with 2. So better increase the figures so that as we are striving to get to that high numbers, we'll be able to meet the least expectation that we have put forward.
First Lady of Kwara State, Ambassador Professor Olufolake Abdulrazak, led other dignitaries on the special unveiling ceremony of TALI's journey, impact and milestones, while restating the commitment of Kwara State to ensuring the rights of persons with disability are protected.
We have the Disabilities Law 2017 being amended from 2022. The main point that is being requested is for there to be an Office of Persons with Disability right under the Office of the Governor. That's one of the provisions, and a few other things. It's really something that we're working. I think you heard all what I said about all the provisions we have made. We've gotten jobs for them in TED Fund, in Subeb. We've made sure that they are in government. The governor has an SSA on disabilities. We have 3 permanent secretaries in Kwara with our people with disabilities.
Chairperson, NBA Lawyers with Disabilities Forum, Barrister Patience Etumodun, pledged to prosecute cases of discrimination towards PWs.
I will be saying that there should be more accessibility, there should be more provision, or rather the implementation of the Discrimination Against Persons Act in its totality. It is not just a piecemeal implementation. It's not just about creating a commission. It doesn't end there. You must implement it. That's what we're saying, and that's what she's doing too. And so we're here to support her because I think we're actually on the same cause. We're all fighting for the same thing, to see that, to ensure that persons with disabilities in Nigeria are not just taken for granted, are not just seen as, how do I put it now, charity cases. They are not, but as citizens who have equal rights and who should also be treated with equal rights.
Highlights of the event featured panel of discussions and TALI special unveiling ceremony. From the nation's capital, Beto Bryan.